game of cricket and life. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ordinary Maverick. This is Ajay, your host, an ordinary maverick, sharing real life thoughts and experiences and maverick tips. India, South Africa, Jamaica, all cricket loving nations, and guess what? All places where we have had the opportunity to live. I love cricket, always have. Ever since I remember, I enjoyed the game, loved watching it, loved playing it, and of course, loved discussing it, arguing about it, being so very passionate about our favorite team winning, and feeling totally dejected when they lost. One gets so very involved in the game, that it almost feels like a personal loss. But let's for a moment go back in time. Going back in time is something I highly recommend we should all do. Understanding your past, your history helps move forward. I've gone back in time in one of my podcasts to meet a young Ajay and even discussed this with a guest on the show. Do catch that episode if you get a chance. So, going back in time to cricket, when did I start playing it? Don't really remember, but I recall playing cricket as a child, taking the bat and the ball, getting together with friends, spending entire days and all of the school holidays playing cricket. I was a good batsman, but also loved bowling and fielding, and spent hours practicing getting better at the game. Those were the days when, as young boys, one of the best gifts was a nice cricket bat or an entire cricket set with stumps, bat, ball, etc. Simple pleasures. That's all we wanted at that time. Nowadays, of course, it's changed to the latest cell phone or wireless headphones or some new technology gadget. I do think that technology in some ways has taken away the pleasure of these games that we played as children in lanes and open spaces. We don't see much of it nowadays. And of course, the COVID pandemic hasn't really helped. But have you heard about, cricket being played using a book? Or for that matter, have you ever played it? I have played that on a rainy day when one is stuck at home and really wants to play cricket. It's played with a fat book which has page numbers. And then you randomly open the pages, and based on the page number, the last digit, one writes down the scores. There's no bowling here, only batting. Ideally, with two players, and one can spend hours enjoying a favorite game. Now that's being creative, right? I was thinking about cricket and life, and there's so much similarity. Ever thought about it? In cricket, every run counts. Matches are won sometimes with just one run. And it's the one run at a time that all adds up on the scoreboard and helps a team win. In life, it's the same. Each and everything that you do adds up. It's the small things that matter and all add up. Think about it. For being fit, it's the small changes, exercising, eating right, sleeping right, that ultimately makes you fit. Every single thing adds up. Then, of course, cricket is also known for its glorious upsets. Anything can happen at any time. You may think your team is winning, and then suddenly it can all change and you end up losing. It happened during the famous World Cup of Cricket in 1983. What a tournament! Completely unforgettable. Going by India's past record in one day internationals and in the World Cup, they were not expected to even progress beyond the group stage of the World Cup at that point in time. Yet, they emerged as champions. When one reviews this particular game changer World Cup, all the ups and downs of cricket were experienced in one tournament. India was able to win against traditionally the big guns of cricket, creating one of the biggest upsets ever in cricket history. And you know what? My father in law was the flight engineer that brought the winning Indian cricket team home. The beautiful, much revered cup was kept with pride in the Air India plane in the first class. And of course, as the team landed in Mumbai, history was made. Indian cricket was never the same. In cricket, one needs to know how to play the ball, when to take singles, twos, or hit fours or sixes. There's the right time for everything. And the player who masters this timing is a world-class cricket champion. It's the same in life, right? Life gives us opportunities. One needs to know how to play it. In it, or for it, or with it. The one who recognizes an opportunity could be anything, maybe a chance meeting. That actually can change the course of one's life, but also the course of history. Don't believe me? Think about it. How our music history would have been without the Beatles? It was a chance meeting between Paul McCartney and John Lennon that would give the world the iconic Beatles music. And then it was also a chance meeting between Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak that gave us Apple, iPads, iWatches, iPhones. Gosh, the world would be so different without these inventions. We have experienced this too. Yes, a chance meeting that changed the time we spend in Jamaica. I've shared this before that we lived in Jamaica for a few years. It was the most bizarre thing. We take our 4-year-old younger daughter to her 4-year-old friend's birthday party in Jamaica, about a month since we got there. We didn't know a soul in Jamaica, and this was our daughter's new school friend. Sometime in the middle of the birthday party, we get talking to one of the parents. And purely by chance, they mention their last name. It rings a bell in my wife's mind, and she shares that her mom's maiden family name also had the same last name and came from a particular town in India. Well, it turns out that one of the uncles from that family had actually moved to Jamaica several years back and was well established there. Our stay in Jamaica turned out to be just like that. Suddenly, we went from knowing no one to knowing almost everyone. It was quite interesting. Yes, we were welcomed into the community, and of course, the rest of our stay was such fun. So, yes, opportunities come. Make the most of it. You know, go with your gut. Our first component of the Maverick formula and the most important one. That gut feeling, practicing mindfulness to recognize this is so important. It's that gut feeling of playing the ball and taking a run that works in cricket and that works in life too. Cricket shows us the strength in diversity. A good team comes together with different skill sets. You need a good batsman, a good bowler, and a good fields person to win the game. Yes, all rounders are there, but sometimes all you need to win a game is a good bowler. That's how it's in life. Winning teams in family and in business composed of members with different skill sets. I often say, my wife and I make a good team, and together with our daughters, we are a force to reckon with. Okay, it's a diversity and uniqueness that comes together beautifully. And cricket shows us adaptability. The order of batting, bowling changes based on different factors: the pitch, the wind, the ball, the other team lineup, etc. etc. Similarly, in life, one should know how to adapt. Be conscious, be aware, and then adapt to the situation to win. Some of us have successfully navigated this during the last 18 months of COVID. Look at me. I started a podcast, had never envisaged it. And if someone had told me a year ago that I would launch my own podcast in 2020, would have never believed it. But the opportunity came along, my diverse and strong family team supported me, and here we are, taking it one run at a time. Yes, singles do matter. And enjoying, having fun along the way is the most important aspect, just like a good game of cricket. Write in your comments, share your feedback. I would love to hear from you. And for some more Maverick tips, do subscribe to the Ordinary Maverick podcast. This is Ajay signing off and wishing you have an amazing day. Keep well, keep safe.